Welcome to our Watch App course from Eduionics. My name is Brett, and in this lecture we're going to see how to make sure that the watch is able to receive the data that we're going to be sending to it. So I am going to go ahead and open up the WatchKit extension. We're going to do this in the interface controller. It's going to be our main scene. And what we need to do are some similar things on this side. So we want to go ahead and create our session, but we need to import watch connectivity. So I'm going to do that. And now we need to add our delegate for the watch session, or the session object. So we're going to do WC session delegate. And similarly, what we did with our view did load inside of our view controller, which we created our session here, we can do the same thing inside of the watch. So we're only needing to do this once, and it's going to hang around because this main scene is not destroyed. So we can do that inside of awake with context, because that is where we're actually going to get this context. So below the stadiums, I can do create session. And in here, we're going to see if the session is supported. So we're going to do a WC session, and we want this, and we want to do is supported. And then in here, we're going to create the session. And I need a session variable also. So I will create that right here. Session, WC session. Force unwrap that. And then down here, we're going to go ahead and create the session very similar to what we did earlier in the watch. So this is going to be a WC session, and it's going to be a default session. Then we're going to do session delegate equals self, and session activate session. All right. And so that should handle the creation of the session. So we're going to get a delegate callback on this. So what we need to do is add the method to handle that. We're going to have a did receive application context, and we're going to do that above our stadiums. So we'll do did, actually we probably need to do a WC session or funct session. All right, did receive application context is here, and inside of this we can print, let's see, application context on watch, and we'll pass in our context, or our application context in this case. All right. And I think that is all we need here. And we should be able to run this now. So I'll run the iPhone app, and we'll go through this, and I'll put something here to know that we just sent to the watch, sent data from iPhone to watch. So that way we don't need breakpoints. We'll just see this come through in our debug output. Okay, so running the iPhone app now, then we'll start up the watch, and when we start the watch, we should see it. So if the watch is running and the app is running, we shouldn't see anything. So that's why we need to do a fresh start on the watch. Okay, so let's see. Here's the simulator. And send, actually let me open this. Okay, and send data. Not paired to watch. So that's working good. What we're going to do now is start the watch app and run. See, let this go. So we're going to run again on the watch. And I think, so it's kind of a little tricky to get this going at first, but I think if I go ahead and run the watch, there'll be a pairing, then I can do it again a little later. So is this going to run, or is this error about storage real? Not sure what's happening. Stop. Yes. Build succeeded. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop the iPhone app and just run the watch. See if we can just get that going right now. Not seeing anything right now. Stop. All right. Try this again. May need to restart Xcode, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, so Xcode has restarted. I'm going to go ahead and start with the watch. I think we'll get a failure right off the bat because this is a fresh start. But let's see what happens, and then I'll try a restart on that failure if it occurs. Here's the watch. See if this starts up. There it goes. Good. So that'll probably stall right there like it usually does the very first time the simulator opens and the watch tries to run. Okay, well, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and start the iOS app. Going to go with the 5 and run. Okay, so now we should have both of them going. And I'll open up the debug here. Bring this back, bring the watch back. Okay, so if I send data, we shouldn't see anything on the watch. Not paired. Let's see, that should be paired. I can go ahead and stop the watch and restart it. Make sure the iPhone is running. It is. Yes, run through that. Okay, that is back in a 6 plus because of what the watch is doing. So I'm going to go ahead and run the watch again. Okay, and bring back the iPhone and run it. Send data. All right, so we are paired. Sent data from iPhone to watch. And go ahead and run the watch. All right, so if we go ahead and do home and then bring this back up, I believe we should see our data. So I'm going to do home. All right, and let's see. Trying to get to the main home. So there we are. So one of these is going to be ours. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and restart the watch. Let's see. This one here, I think the iPhone app should still be running. Okay, so start the watch again. There it goes. And let's see. I'm going to go back into the interface here. I'll add this breakpoint. Let's see. Make sure this is working. Actually, what we can do, I'm going to stop the watch. We can put a printout here to make sure session has been activated. Watch WC session activated. And run the watch from here. Can remove this. Delete. Watch session activated. And let's see. Send data. Right, so it's kind of strange when you're running both of them because the iPhone app is not going to respond right now, and I am going to go ahead and restart it. So that's the iPhone app. Go back to a 5. Okay. And bring the watch up. Send data, not paired. I think that is because I'm starting it standalone. So stop this and the watch. All right, so everything should be stopped, and the watch is stopped. I'm just going to try and run the watch and see if we can get some kind of response out of the iPhone doing this. So here goes the watch. Let's go to the iPhone simulator. And our app is going to be on the other screen. See this one. See if we can do something here. There we go. And here's our watch. We are getting data, so I'll step over that. And there it is. So at this point, you can access application context. It is a string, any object. So what you want to do is cast any object as a string. So we'll do that and see how it's done. Now let this run out. And go ahead and stop this. And then I'll go over how I'm getting the simulators to work. So what I want to do is my string equals application context, my key as string. See if this is going to compile. And then I can do print my string. All right, so let's see. Actually, we want this unresolved identifier of my string. So, right, I'm going to do a let on that since it's not going to change. And any object, okay, remove this, run this. So what I'm doing is I'm not even bothering with the iPhone simulator. I'm just running the watch, which is going to in turn run the iPhone. And that's how I'm getting it to communicate from the iPhone to the watch. All right, so let's go to the iPhone and just start up the app from the iPhone, not from Xcode. So just start it up from the simulator, send data. And then here's what we have. There's our full string. So that's how I'm pulling it out, casting it as a string. If it was a class, I'd cast it as a class, and then I'd have my class available. I could assign it to some variable I had put up here, so it's class level and available throughout this entire class. So at this point, we have data going from the iPhone to the watch. Next, we'll see how to do it the other way, going from the watch to the iPhone.